very warm welcome. It's Gene from Avstar. You might have recognised this guy. It's the Canadian prepper, and why I agree mostly in the fact that he tells people to prepare. I don't always agree with everything he says. I think we can all say that about everyone that we subscribe to. The thing is, here is that we're locked down and ready. I'm not going to comment on the British riots. I'm going to remain the grey guy there on that. I am going to just highlight what is about to happen in the Middle East, and just tell you a few things that maybe you might need to get in the coming days if you can afford to. You need a bow saw that can cut wet wood. I've got a bow saw, and I've got also like a flick blade, which is a wet wood tree cutter. You need some flint strikers. You need water purification. You need, I've got 18 months worth of food supply. You're going to need a food supply. You're going to need an NBC suit for you and whoever. I've got 2 of those with respirators and backup filters for those. You're going to need a good first aid kit. You're going to need a surgical kit. You're going to need water purification and redundant water purification systems. Like we've got water purification tablets, 7-stage filters, etc., etc. You're going to need all this stuff. You're going to need tarps for emergency shelters. You're going to need all these things and redundant things for everyone in your family. And if you haven't got them, then, if you've got to this point where we are right now and you've not done any prep, then you're going to be the first to be extinguished. The only thing I could recommend you do is buy yourself, a nice malt whiskey and a cigar for you and your partner at this point, because that's where we are. And things are about to happen. We are about to go through something. Humanity is, clearly, as far as I can see, with what all has been going on for the last 5 years, it's coming to a crescendo. And if you haven't prepared for this, then you're going to be taken down very, very quickly. Have you got the means to recharge your electronics, your devices, your phones, if the electric gets cut off? That's where we are. It will either be a cyber attack, it will be a CME, it will be, a nuclear detonation of some sorts. I'm not kidding. We are definitely in that arena right now. And any one of these scenarios can just pop up. But how well prepared are you for any of these scenarios? And the reason why I'm showing Canadian Prepper is because generally, he is informing people of how to prepare. He's assisting them how to prepare. And I don't agree with his logic on what's about to happen next, but I do agree with the fact that he is telling people to get ready for something, because something inevitably is about to kick off. And right now, many of the world's governments are sitting in anticipation, watching what Iran is going to do next. Iran have already admitted that they've got the capability of at least a nuclear weapon, albeit small arsenal. But who's backing Iran? Russia. Who's backing Russia? China. And then we have also North Korea, who are obviously, part of that nation. We've seen the economy be divided between the American dollar standard to the BRICS nation. On the other hand, if you was looking at the stock markets yesterday, they were collapsing, and that was largely due to Japan and their 200% over GDP borrowing. Of course, it's going to reflect around the world. And we look at the United States now at 35 trillion, the UK over 2 trillion, and all these countries are insolvent, not bankrupt yet because they've not been took to court and been made pay for their deficits. Because I suppose when you get to country level, you just can't take the country to court because of its debt. You have to go to war with it. And now we are seeing, the willingness to go to war with other countries. We got China with Taiwan, Russia with Ukraine, Iran with Israel, Jordan, and then Lebanon, and all those countries, as well as lots of others. We're at Tinder levels right now. Slightest spark set the whole lot off, and like I say, even with what's going on here in the UK, I'm not going to get involved in conversations with that. I'm going to remain a grey man there on that. I don't agree with Keir Starmer. I think he should resign. Even though he's only been in office 4 weeks, he showed exactly how much of a wet arse he is, actually, and really needs to just lay down the gavel and go. But that's where we are. You guys need to prep. You need water purification. You need an NBC suit. You know what? At the moment, nobody's looking for NBC suits, and none of the other channels are telling people to buy them. You know what? They cost nothing. You can buy an NBC suit, nuclear, biological, chemical warfare suit, for £3, and a respirator mask for £15. They're giving them out right now in Israel, free, to the members of public. Have you been given one? Because if this flashpoint does ignite, then it will be World War 3, and that will be a nuclear war. Obviously, we are pushing Russia right now into the corner, and when they're in the corner, what do you think they're going to do? If all you've got is a hammer, then everything is going to look like a nail. If all you've got left is a nuclear deterrence, then everything is going to look like a target. That's where we are. And I know people will be thinking, no need to go there, we don't need to do that, the shops will be open today, they'll be open next week. Carry on thinking like that, because that is setting yourself up for a major fail, and your loved ones, whoever you've got to look after. I'm fortunate right now. I've got no one else other than myself to look after. I've got 18 months worth of food. I can, clean up the worst water on this planet and make it drinkable with the system I've got in storage. We've got heating facilities, power generation, generators, solar panels, everything you can think of. We are set up 100% for this, and worse. What have you got set aside for yourselves is what you need to think about right now. If you've got nothing, it won't be long before we're merging back into the winter. Buy yourself a bow saw. At least you'll be able to saw some wood up and have a fire. What have you got set aside to eat? If you've got no money, buy rice, buy flour. At least you can have a flatbread Very easy to make. Water, flour, pinch of salt, you're away on an open fire. These are the things that you need right now, that your government aren't telling you, that the mainstream media aren't telling you you need. Go out today if you've got the funds and go and secure those. It will be the best insurance policy that you have made for your family ever. And it doesn't expire after 12 months. You've still got it. Add to it. You know, one of the things I added to my itinerary today was these towels that you dip in water and they expand. You know, I got that off the Canadian prepper. He was talking about this years ago as a good idea, and I agree with him. You know, you can use them as face wipes, hand wipes, you know, to clean your cutlery. You can also use them, you know, if you need to have a shit, as a wipe. You know, multiple uses, but very small, compact, compressed, little spot of water on them, and they expand into a real towel, and you can put that to multiple uses. You know, that was what I brought yesterday to add to my itinerary. These are the things that you need to be thinking about. And if you're not, if you are, your mind's lost in what's happening in the UK, if your mind's lost in what's happening all around the world with the economy and everything else, or you know what, you can't bear to even put yourself through watching some of the videos that are taking place and people are advising you to do, then you know what, just continue in your normal day life and don't even think about it. Failing to prepare is failing to succeed long term. If you've put that out your mind and you can't see it as something that you need to do in order to survive in this world that we've got today, then fine. You know what I'd do? I'd keep your eye on a flight tracker, which you can Google. And as soon as you see the airspace clear over Iraq and Iran, leaving a clear corridor to Israel, you'll know that things are about to start. And this is something that you can do right now. Just watch the space. You know, back in April, I looked at Flight Tracker and I saw the airspace clear. And then there was an announcement hours after on mainstream media that 300 missiles and drones had gone into Israel. And Iran promised that next time it would be much greater deal. They wouldn't stop at just that. And Israel were very lucky that Iran telegraphed it, basically announced it to everybody that that is what they was going to do. This time, Iran have been very silent. Why do you think that is? It's because now, probably, they mean business. You've got strike groups, aircraft carriers in the Med, in the Persian, you know, in the Red Sea, right now, ready for all what is about to take place. And I don't think many of you guys out there are within the understanding of what is actually going on and where we all are right now, because we're all standing right now on the very edge of that cliff of about to see something we've never seen before, because that's how it goes these days. You know what, everything is just an extreme, and this is the next extreme. Only thing is, this will affect you 100%. If Iran do go heavy-handed into Israel with missiles, and you know, my thoughts are, well, they've done 300 missiles, ballistic missiles, drones, the last time. They said they were going to escalate this on an unprecedented scale the next time. So maybe we could see 3,000 missiles going to Israel, overwhelming the Iron Dome protection system. And I've been watching a flight tracker. You know, there has been a hell of a lot of flights leaving Israel in the last few days, which tells me that the residents of that country are very concerned, worried and scared. And we would be as well if we was in this situation, wouldn't we? So the only message I've got is get yourself a list, start writing a few things down that, you know, if worst case scenarios happen, you've got them. You don't have to go the whole shebang like I've got, you know, because I've been building up my preps for years. But you need to get yourself a few simple things, because if you have to leave your residence tonight, what are you going to take? I suppose we'll leave it at that. Guys, you take care of yourselves. We'll be doing, as usual, in the next couple of days, the positioning of the magnetic North Pole, and nothing else to say on anything else other than take care of your loved ones. As always, bye for now.